Hey guys, welcome back again to another juicy video. How are you guys doing? I know you are doing absolutely amazing. You know this face is not new on my channel. My sister is here to visit the baby girl.
Yeah. Weekend vibes.
So my sister came to spend a weekend with me, and she's not new to the channel. But for the sake of those of you who are seeing her for the first time, I would like her to introduce herself before we go into today's video.
All right, so this is not the first time I'm coming on Becca's channel. It's about the third or fourth time. My name is Diane. I'm also a Ghanaian nurse currently practicing in the UK.
So you guys don't know that this lady sitting right here works in the Parliament of the United Kingdom. Oh yeah, she works in the Parliament of the United Kingdom, and that is why I invited her here for her to tell us how she got there. You know guys, I was home one day when my sister friend called me that she's working in Parliament. I was like, seriously? What is happening? Like, what took you to the Parliament? And initially I thought she was joking, okay, until she called me. I went there. I saw her at work. She had a very comfy office in her chair, taking a 360. You know,
oh
like,
my goodness.
It's not a joke. This lady sitting here is she is a big personality, to be honest. But I love her humility. I'm not saying this because she's here. She's a very, very humble person. If you see her in person, you would know what I'm talking about. She is very down to earth, and you wouldn't know she is who she is. Yes, but she is a very important personality here in UK. She looks after the parliamentarians. Yeah, she's a nurse in Parliament. So today she's going to be she's going to be giving us information, career guidance. We'll ask her first of all to talk about, the job she does. So she works in a very prominent NHS trust, and she's a specialist nurse working as a COVID vaccinator.
Yeah.
She is a band 6 nurse, so she is very well endowed, guys. I want you guys to go onto her channel, subscribe to her channel. She has a lot of content from across board, healthcare assistant, CV, like everything you can think of, all the good stuff. She has it on her channel. So Diane, I'm very privileged to have you here with me. She is in my crib. First of all, I'd like Diana to tell us a little bit of background as to how long she's been practicing as a nurse and her transition actually into the United Kingdom.
Well, okay, I'm also a Ghanaian trained registered nurse, and I migrated to the UK in 2018. So obviously I also went through the same IELTS, CBT, OSCE, and all of that. So I started working in the UK in gastro-medical ward. I transitioned throughout the COVID period. I was moved around so many times until I ended up in a elderly medical ward. And from the experience, I've gone through a lot. It's been so challenging, but it's been rewarding as well. So it got to a point where I felt like, no, I need to just take a break from the bedside. So I'm currently working as a senior band 6 vaccination nurse in one of the big hospitals in London. So that is what I'm currently doing. I've left the bedside, for now.
Wow.
Just to at least get some experience in other fields of nurse, because there's so much you can do. Yeah.
So you've left bedside. You've left us to change the diet. Listen. So she has left us. She has jackpot. She's left bedside nursing for us.
Yeah, I've had enough.
So, like, what made you take that move? You felt like you've had enough of bedside nursing?
So actually, it was all during the pandemic. I was happy in the surgical ward I was working. It was more like a day surgery unit. We used to do just minor cases, and patients just discharged the same day. So I really loved that job. Patients walk in and then walk out the same day, until the pandemic came, and then they felt like they needed more hands in the intensive care units. So they stopped all the surgeries that we were doing. So they moved all of us to the emergency and the intensive care units. So when the pandemic went down, it was like they didn't really need us anymore. They moved us around again until I moved like 3 times during the pandemic. So it was very, very challenging. It was very tough. I mean, working in an intensive care unit without any form of experience. Then I felt like it became a bit too much. I mean, as an overseeing nurse, having gone through all of this, I never had any experience in intensive care units back home. So for me to have just been thrown in the intensive care unit during the pandemic, it was so tough.
I want to know, I'm quite interested because I know she works in as a band 6 in COVID vaccination. And then suddenly I saw her in Parliament. To be honest, when she told me she works in Parliament, I didn't believe. I was like, listen, what are you going to do in Parliament? I know you don't work in Parliament until I saw it myself. She has a very beautiful office in Parliament. And I just want to know how
it all happened.
Yes.
So, I work in the vaccination, right? And the vaccination job is like, it has its peak period. And there are times when it really goes down, the numbers go down. So we started with, we don't only do COVID vaccination, we do COVID vaccination, flu vaccination, polio, any type of vaccines you can think of, we do it over there. So during summer, it looks like most of the people had already had their COVID vaccine. So the numbers started going down. So they wanted us to just to keep us going or to keep us active. They tried to redeploy some of us to other units to help out. So the vaccination directorate is still open, it's not closed. But because the numbers went down or the uptake of vaccine or vaccination went down, they had to deploy some of us to other places. So
you were the luckiest one.
So I just happened to, there was an email randomly sent to everybody saying that they need people. They have a clinic in the Parliament.
And it's
they have
beautiful.
Nurses. They have a wonderful clinic.
Beautiful.
It's like the whole directorate on its own.
Yeah.
And they've got nurses who like kind of attend to the staff who work in the Parliament. So they sent an email around saying that they need people to go and work in the clinic in the Parliament. So whoever is interested should just put their name forward. So I just happened to be on duty that day. I was just checking my email. It was Leslie, so I was just going through my emails, and then I happened to see the message as at the time it was sent. Probably if I was off that day, maybe I wouldn't have seen the message, because I mean most people don't even check their work emails when they are home. So if I had not been on duty that day, maybe I might not have even seen the message, or I might not have even checked my email that day. So when I saw the email, I just felt like, that's interesting. I wonder what would be going on in the Parliament. I never knew there was even a clinic. I never knew, anything about the Parliament. All you see is the pictures, when you are walking by, because the hospital I work in is not so far from the Parliament. So I see the Parliament every single day when I'm going to work. So I just decided to respond to this email, put my name forward. I'm interested, because honestly, I'm the type of person I don't really like when it's less busy. I always like to get active, because when it's busy, the time goes so quickly, and by the time you realize it's time for you to go home. So I just wanted something to do just to keep me busy. And I also felt like I'll just put my name forward. Probably it will be an experience that will take me somewhere that you never really know. So what I did was I just put my name forward, responded to that email. I'm interested. So if they are still in need of people, I'm happy to go. So I got a response that they are happy. So they selected 2 of us, but then we had to go through a background check, because it's like you can imagine the caliber of people who work there. So for you to even have the chance to work, they have to go through a strict police check.
Yeah.
So we had to fill out a long form, about 12 pages, to fill out the details of even our parents, our hometown, 5 years UK history. They wanted like every address that I've stayed in here in the UK since I migrated. So they did an in-depth background check. So it did take a while. If not for that background check, I would have started working in the Parliament a long time ago. But it did take a while, because the security check has to be in-depth before they can accept you to even enter the Parliament.
Yeah.
And for you to even enter the Parliament, there are security men with guns, with the kind of ID and password that you need even to get access into that Parliament building. Is not an easy thing. So we had to go through an in-depth security check. So I got a message saying that I've passed the security check, so they are happy for me to come and collect my ID badge. So so the day I got the message, I was like, so this thing is really getting serious. Me entering the Parliament. What am I actually going to do? So I just they gave me a date and a time to come for my ID badge. So the day I went to the office, not the main office, but they have an office where you have to once you pass the security check, they invite you to that office to take pictures for the ID badge, and then they will give you a code for you to be able to enter the parliament. So I got the code, the ID card, and then I had a date to start.
So I know when the Queen passed, Queen Elizabeth passed, and they were doing the burial and everything. You were there. You were working at the parliament, looking after the parliamentarians. I just want to know, how was the feeling like knowing that you are a nurse looking after first class, you know, citizens? How was the feeling like?
To wake up and even think of the fact that you're going to the parliament, you know, you've got this, like, there is this positive energy, because as an overseer nurse, who would even think that you get the chance to enter the parliament? For what? What business have you even got as an overseer nurse to enter the parliament to work? It's a lifetime experience. So during the time that the Queen was being buried or being laid in state, so I was part of the nurses who were working with the ambulance people, looking after the casualties and all of that. So it was just a wonderful experience for me to be part of this. You know, it just happened to be at the time when the Queen also passed. I had started working there even before this issue happened, but then it looks like it just happened, you know, when this big event was happening in the whole world. So it's been a wonderful experience for me. And sometimes even when I'm home, I still don't believe it. Anytime I'm about to just wake up and go to I just have this positive energy. You know, it's a different environment altogether. It's not your usual place of work. And sometimes when your colleagues ask you, it's been a long time since I saw you at the vaccination, where are you? Are you on annual leave? And I said, no, I'm working in the parliament. you know. And then they all go like, what? Because it looks like not everybody responded to that email. Most people were off that day, so they didn't get the chance to see that email. So maybe by the time they even responded, maybe they might have, already selected.
And I'm sure even those that responded, they will look through to select the ones that they wanted to. Not everybody would definitely be said. So I feel like you were very, very lucky.
I know.
And you've had a lifetime experience.
Oh my goodness.
And who wouldn't want this experience? Yes. Everybody wants this experience. I'm just curious to know, like, as a parliament nurse, I'm just curious to know, and I know you guys also are curious to know, what is your job role like? What a day in your life? What do you do in the parliament as a parliament nurse?
So they've got two different departments for the nurses. So they've got a place where people can just walk in with any complaints.
Is it like outsiders or
no?
The parliamentarians.
So if you are outside, you cannot even have the pass or the code to even work even walk inside. So whoever we are looking after are those who work in the parliament. So they have a section where people can just walk in. People who work in the parliament just walk in with any complaint. So it's more like you providing first aid treatment to them. And we've got first aid medications that you don't really need prescription for. They've got like an emergency cupboard which has emergency medications whereby people come in with their complaints. Oh, I've had a fall, I need my wound to be dressed. People come in, can I have my blood pressure checked? And so when you check it, there is this system that you have to do a proper documentation. There are also certain cases that may come that will be above you. So if there is any condition that I cannot manage on my own, because over there in that area, like you are on your own, you are more like a mini consultant basically.
Wow.
So they come to you, they'll just knock on the door. I'll just be relaxing in my office. They
I
just
love
knock
it
on the
already.
door, and then they will just come in and then present their problems, you know, and then you have to think of something and do for them. If there is anything that is beyond you, there is a telephone number for you to call to refer them to a doctor who is normally on site, or even if you have to book an appointment for them, I'll just book the appointment for them on a certain day that the doctor is available. If it's an emergency, then you would advise them to obviously go to the emergency for immediate attention. So the other aspect of it is people come in with appointments for health screening. So for the health screening, you just go through a series of lifestyle screening questions with them. You ask them about their general life. You talk about their past medical history. So you check their blood pressure, you check their cholesterol, and then based on the results, you advise them. And also, if there is anything that, also if they wish to speak with a specialist or an occupational health nurse or a counselor regarding issues that are of particular concern that they are not really willing to open about, we've got a psychologist or a counselor that you would have to refer to. So that was basically what we were actually doing. So on each day, I could have like 3 or 4 patients who have been booked. So they all come with their appointments. You know, just like you go to see a GP, they have an appointment. So depending
you're
on
a GP.
so based on the appointments, based on the times that they come in, yeah, you just see them as and when, and then you write a detailed report. You send a copy to the patients, and then I also save a copy on the system. If there is anybody who needs further appointment to see a counselor, what I will do is I'll pass the message on to the receptionist, and then they will arrange further appointment. So it was more like being like a clinical advisor. Also, we go around at least once a week. I go around with the other nurses to all the departments within the parliament to check their emergency equipment to see if they are working, just in case somebody has a cardiac arrest. Is the defibrillator working well? And also the emergency drugs in the emergency boxes, we make sure that they are all in date, they are not expired. And then the defib machines, we make sure that they are all working. And there was also like a first aid room. So somebody will just come in like, oh, I just had a fall, and then they will come with some scratches. You just have to do a minor injury, just do wound dressing, and then you just advise them on some painkillers they could take, and if it becomes worse, they should just go to the A&E or call their GP. It's quite an interesting, more relaxing. You sit in the comfort of your own office with your computers, your desk, with all your equipment. If there's nobody coming in for an appointment, during those times, you can be reading on anything concerning maybe the upcoming appointment, just to, prepare yourself, and all of that. So it was very, very relaxing. I'm really, really enjoying it. Honestly, it's a lifetime experience that I'll always carry with me wherever I go.
So as an overseas nurse who has risen through the ranks, you've worked in a lot of departments, you've risen through the bands. Now you're in a band 6 in a very prominent NHS trust. You've had the opportunity to go to Parliament.
Yes.
What advice will you give to my viewers, young aspiring overseas nurses, or those who are already here, they are still pursuing their career, they don't know what to do? What advice will you give to everybody?
So, the experience I'm getting from working in the Parliament is something that you cannot even get anywhere. The kind of contacts I've made and what I've learned, you never know where those experiences are going to take you in your career.
She's got all the contacts.
You never know where that experience is going to get you. So if I had not opted to go there, if I had been scared, even when I saw the email, I would have gone like, oh, as an overseer, I don't even deserve to go there. What am I going to do? Can I even go there? So, if you always limit yourself, you never explore, you never get opportunities. So what I would say is, if I had not responded to that email, I wouldn't have been where I am today. So I would encourage each and everybody, do not get stuck where you are. Try as much as possible and explore whichever unit you work. Even if you're working in one particular hospital, do not limit yourself to just that ward. If you have to register with an agency to work in other hospitals or care homes, that is what you have to do. The more you do that, it opens up doors, it gives you experience, and then whenever an opportunity comes, you feel so confident to grab the opportunity. Otherwise, you keep on where you are, you never grow, you always remain where you are. But that should not be our goal. We came here for a purpose, not only for the money, but also to develop ourselves career-wise. So we have to take advantage of every opportunity that comes our way.
Wow. Well done. Bravo. Thank you very much for having time with me on my channel. It's a very big privilege for me, for coming to my house and, for having a chit-chat with my viewers. I do really appreciate it. If you have any question, guys, put it in the comment section and let's know what you think. And until we meet again in our next video, guys, is bye.